Have you ever wondered if a single blouse, simple, elegant, and effortless, could make him look at you the way he did when you first fell in love? Welcome to HealthwiseForSeniors, where we believe true beauty doesn't fade with age. It deepens, radiates, and becomes even more captivating with time. Now let's be honest. We've all heard people say, after 60, fashion isn't important anymore, just be comfortable. Well, we don't believe that. And if you don't either, then you're exactly where you need to be. Because in this video, we're not talking about showing more skin or chasing trends. We're talking about wearing something that speaks without a single word. A silk neckline that catches the candlelight. A whisper of lace that makes him pause. A soft cardigan that wraps you in quiet elegance. You don't have to wear red lipstick or a bold dress unless you want to. You just need a blouse that knows how to tell a story, your story. In today's video, we'll reveal 6 timeless tops that women over 60 are using to quietly, yet powerfully, recapture connection, desire, and the spark that never truly faded. But before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to HealthwiseForSeniors. Every little tap on that button helps us bring you more uplifting, graceful content made just for women like you. And stay with us until the end, because we'll Some clothes don't just cover the body, they awaken memory. The way a draped silk neckline falls across the collarbone is like the soft echo of a voice he hasn't heard in a long time, not out loud, but in the heart. A draped silk top is quietly powerful. It doesn't cling or shout for attention. It whispers, gently, intentionally, drawing the eyes to the curve of your neck, the gentle slope of your shoulder, the place where skin and memory meet. Pair it with wide-leg silk trousers in a matching or tone-on-tone palette, and suddenly your whole silhouette becomes fluid, graceful, serene. You move like a song not to be heard, but to be felt. Add a pair of low-heeled mule shoes, a touch of pearl earrings, a blush-toned nude lipstick, and pull your hair into a soft chignon. It's not glamorous, it's intimate. Now picture this, it's evening. The music is soft, maybe a little Nora Jones or old jazz playing low. The room is dim, the lights golden, and you're standing in the living room pouring a glass of wine. Nothing fancy, nothing posed, just you. He walks into the room. And then he stops. Not because you called his name, not because you asked a question, but because, for a moment, he sees you the way he did when you were just starting out, the woman he once couldn't stop watching across a crowded party. Except now, it's not a crowded room. It's home. It's quieter. And you're more radiant than ever, not because you tried to be, but because the drape of that silk top caught the light and his memory. Women like Lauren Hutton, even in her 70s, wear this kind of elegance with ease. There's nothing performative, only presence. A softness that's lived, not borrowed. And in that moment, when you're doing nothing more than pouring wine, he sees you again, not as his wife, but as the woman he once fell in love with, and maybe, there are days when you don't feel the need to be dazzling, just quietly lovely. And that's when the boat neck blouse with elbow-length sleeves becomes your secret weapon. It doesn't reveal much, just the soft curve of your shoulders, that gentle space between collarbone and skin, where memory seems to settle more than perfume. In ivory cotton or breezy linen, the neckline sits wide and elegant, making room not just for air, but for presence. The sleeves, relaxed but intentional, suggest movement, but not haste. You wear it with a cream A-line skirt that floats around your knees, wedge sandals that make you just a bit taller but still grounded, and a silk scarf knotted softly at the back of your hair, the kind of touch that says, I still get ready. For the world and for you. It's Sunday. The two of you are walking by the river, maybe carrying small market bags with oranges and rosemary. There's no rush. You stop for coffee, smile at a dog, let your fingers skim the water's edge. And as you walk ahead for a moment, just a few steps, he doesn't say anything, but he slows down, not out of fatigue, but fascination. The breeze lifts your scarf, the edge of your blouse sways lightly, and the soft frame of your shoulder catches the morning light, like the pause between 2 notes of a favorite old song. And just like that, you're not walking alone anymore. He's a few steps behind, not to rush you, but to watch the woman you are now and remember the girl you once were. Because sometimes, beauty doesn't arrive at the front of a room. Sometimes it's in the back, in the way you move, the shape of a shoulder, the silence of a blouse that says everything. Think Andy McDowell on a summer morning in Charleston. Simple linen blouse, natural curls, no makeup but full of grace. That's the kind of effortless radiance your boat-neck blouse holds. The kind that she doesn't dress to impress. She dresses to remember who she is. A white silk button-down, slightly unbuttoned at the collar, says more than most outfits ever will. It's not revealing, just open. Open to morning light. Open to the breeze. Open to being seen, but on her terms. The fabric is fluid, not stiff. It moves when she moves, a subtle dance with the air. The collar isn't sharply pressed. It rests casually, folding gently to reveal just a hint of collarbone, as if to say, come closer, but only if you know how to look softly. She pairs it with light wash, high-waisted jeans, the kind that hugs but doesn't constrict. A slim leather belt, in camel or tan, ties it all together, understated but intentional. Her hair is in a loose bun, a few strands catching the morning sun. Sunglasses shield her eyes but not her presence. It's Tuesday. 9:15 a.m. She sits on the patio of her favorite cafe, a cappuccino in hand. She's not in a rush. She's not waiting for anyone. She's simply there. Fully, beautifully there. Then he joins her. He glances once, then again. She doesn't notice immediately she's watching a bird land near her chair. But when she turns, he says something not about her blouse or the day or even the coffee, something casual, but his tone gives him away. It's slower, lower. The kind of voice he used the first time he said, "You look beautiful," when he barely knew what to do with how he felt. In that moment, she's no longer the woman checking her planner or sipping her coffee. She's the girl from 20 years ago, the one who made him forget what he was about to say. Just like when Lauren Graham walks into a Gilmore Girls scene in a crisp blouse, confident, warm, a little playful, she doesn't need sequins to glow. She glows because she knows who she is, and the world, especially his world, some evenings ask for softness, others ask for mystery, and then there are rare evenings that ask for both. That's when the long-sleeved lace blouse steps in, not to speak, but to suggest. The lace isn't loud, it doesn't sparkle or shout. Instead, it whispers, through the gentle texture of floral threads, the way candlelight dances across sheer sleeves, and how a silhouette becomes more alluring when slightly obscured. The blouse hugs the arms like a second skin, yet lets the skin show through as if telling a secret. The neckline, modest, perhaps even high. But that's the art of it. The more it hides, the more the imagination leans in. You wear it with a black pencil skirt, tailored to move only as much as your confidence allows. Your lipstick is wine red, not cherry, not crimson, but that deeper shade that speaks of Cabernet and conversations after midnight. A thin gold chain glints beneath the lace, just enough to be seen, not enough to be named. The lights are low. Dinner is served on warm plates. The wine has been poured. And he, your husband, your companion, is sitting right across from you. He lifts his fork, maybe says something light. Then he stops, not because you said anything, but because he noticed the way the lace sleeve caught the flicker of the candle. And suddenly, the years between now and your very first dinner together fade like steam on a window. He looks up again, slower this time, not at your lips, not even your eyes, but at the space between your shoulder and your wrist, where skin and lace, light and silence, create a kind of intimacy no words can reach. It's like a memory he didn't realize he'd kept, like hearing the first few notes of a forgotten song and knowing exactly how it ends. Think Julianne Moore in a black lace blouse at a private screening. Elegant, untouchable, but also entirely present. The kind of beauty you don't notice all at once. The kind that unfolds slowly, like a letter you've waited years to open. And in that moment, she didn't plan the day, but somehow she was ready for it. The peplum blouse hugs at the waist, then gently flares like a quiet sigh of confidence. It doesn't scream attention. It just knows how to carry itself. The fabric is soft but structured. The neckline is thoughtful, neither high nor low, just enough to draw the eye upward. And the silhouette? It creates shape without forcing anything. It suggests rather than shows. Because at this age, suggestion is seduction. She pairs it with cream-colored tailored trousers, crisp but fluid. A mini handbag dangles from her wrist, the kind that holds only what matters. Her watch is leather-strapped and worn like a promise, not flashy, but firm. Her lipstick is a muted terracotta, warm, grounded, and quietly alluring. There's no reservation, no map, just the two of them. A spontaneous stop for coffee, or maybe a drive with no destination. She steps out of the car, and just then, he looks at her, not like a stranger, not even like a husband, but like a man seeing a memory walk into real life. He chuckles, soft, almost surprised, and you know why? Because in that very moment, she looks like the woman he fell in love with. But somehow, even more herself. Think of Michelle Pfeiffer in a soft peplum blouse on a daytime stroll in Lowe's Angels, casual, unhurried, but unmistakably graceful. There's something magnetic about the shape. It gives the body permission to breathe and the eyes a reason to linger. The peplum doesn't just flatter the waist, it honors it, celebrates the softness, the strength, the story. And when he sees her standing there, not made up, not trying too hard, just her, he smiles like he's just remembered. Why forever never scared? Sometimes, intimacy isn't loud. It's not about heels that echo down the hallway or perfumes that arrive before you do. It's about softness, the kind that lingers, that whispers something only the heart can hear. That's the gift of the V-neck cardigan, a gentle drape over the shoulders. A single button fastened, not because it needs to be, but because it feels just enough. The V-neckline dips ever so slightly, letting the silk of the pastel slip dress beneath peek through, a contrast of textures, of quiet and shine, like moonlight through a sheer curtain. Her hair isn't styled, not really. It falls naturally, as if the day decided to let her be herself. A pair of pearl earrings glows softly, nothing too polished, just right. There's music playing from another room, something old, something that once played during their early years together and still stirs something in the chest. The tea is still warm. The light is gold and low, and she walks slowly, just passing by him on the way to the kitchen. But in that moment, he forgets the news on TV. He forgets the time, he just watches her, as if she's the memory he's never stopped carrying. Now walking across the room again, not because she's trying to impress, but because she doesn't need to. There's a kind of elegance that lives in comfort, a beauty that doesn't need to announce itself. Jane Fonda once wore a simple V-neck cardigan layered over a satin dress during a private gala reception, and it wasn't the diamonds that made people stop. It was the way the cardigan moved with her, how it held her softness without hiding it. That's what he sees, sitting there. Not just his wife, but the woman who's always had this quiet power, the one who could silence a room, simply by walking through it slowly, wrapped in softness. And though he doesn't say a word, you can feel it in the way he looks at her. He's falling in love with her, all over again, right there in the living room. And just like that, one blouse, one look, one quiet moment of connection that says more than words ever could. Because for every woman over 60, true elegance has never been about trying to impress. It's about remembering how powerful you are. When you dress not for the world, but for the one person whose eyes still light up when you walk into the room. Speech balloon, if today's video stirred something inside you. A memory, a smile, or simply a desire to show up as your most radiant self. Then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel HealthwiseForSeniors. We're here to walk with you, one elegant outfit, one soulful moment at a time.